So Nintendo's motivations in suing Pocket Pair over Palworld might have just been revealed. If you're not aware, Crimson Collective, a hacker group, has recently hacked the Nintendo servers and gotten access to a lot of their assets, their dev assets, their administrative stuff, and just a bunch of other stuff that they have, I guess, made publicly available. And since they made it publicly available, people have looked at some of it. And some of the stuff that is there, I guess there's a video of some of the stuff that they're working on a project that they are working on, seems to be very, very close to Palworld. And now there's some theorizing, some postulation going on that maybe Nintendo is suing Pocket Pair so that they can release their own game that is effectively Palworld, which is, colloquially being called Pokemon with guns, even though it is a completely different genre of game than Pokemon. And there's not really, this is the POW that is closest to any Pokemon, and its name is Anubis. And I don't know if you know this, Anubis is from Egyptian mythology. So I think if this is the one that's closest to a Pokemon, they're not really copying Pokemon. It appears that this game is going to have a lot of similar mechanics. It's whether or not this is going to be a part of Pokemon Legends ZA or if this is a completely other project that they are working on in tandem with it. It appears that it might be having a lot of similar mechanics, similar gameplay style to Palworld. So the theory going forward is that perhaps they launched this lawsuit against Pocket Pair so that they can either silence Palworld, get rid of Palworld while they're in development of their own game, and that way when they release their game, it'll be the only thing available on the market, or they're just suing Pocket Pair to make them look worse so that when this Pokemon game comes out, it'll look better. And I guess it's seeming like, based off the Capcom video and based off some of the comments I've gotten, some of the things I've seen being said, it seems like, at least in Japan, there is a little bit of a mentality that if someone is being sued, they are wrong, and these more powerful companies are just right while the smaller companies are wrong. And having this lawsuit going on against them might just be a PR thing for their own game coming out, so that when they release their own game, they'll be like, see, this is ours. We did this. This is ours all the time. It's always has been. And I think that's a very interesting take, potentially. Now, I can't show the video. I can't show the video that all these mechanics are being displayed on. One, because I have not personally been able to find the video. I've just been able to find a lot of people referencing the video. And two, and I'm using one of the sources that I trust, GamesRay. And two, if I post this content on a video, Nintendo is going to copyright strike it so quick. This video will be taken down so quick if I do manage to find this video and post it. So I'm not going to. I'm going to go through a list of some mechanics that other people have discussed and how they relate to it. So one, this new game shows an open world exploration mechanic. And I'm going on the games trade list here. Palworld mechanics. Vast procedurally generated biomes for survival and base building. Leaked Pokemon game mechanics. Expansive, seamless open world with dynamic weather and terrain deformation, emphasizing exploration over linear paths. So similar to this right here. I don't know why I was shooting. Similar to this. Creature capture and combat. Palworld. Capture weakened pals with spheres. Ride, battle, or automate them. Factories. You use one of the things that if one's like, oh, but Palworld's just like Pokemon. When in Pokemon have you ever, one, built a base, and two, used your Pokemon to run that base for you? I don't know. I've never seen that. The closest thing coming to that is the game that Nintendo just announced called Poketopia. I don't think it's that similar. The leaked Pokemon game mechanics, aiming base capture system, boom, like this, bam. I'm gonna toss it at that Gumoss, see if I can get it. Was my aim? Yep, got it, 100% capture rate. Aiming base capture system, similar to low health throws. Creatures can be ridden for traversal and summoned for hybrid gun melee combat. Oh, you mean like this? I got my Dezamu out here, and now I'm shooting things. That? You mean this idea? This idea that has never been in a Pokemon game before, but is definitely in Palworld? Huh. Funny thing that. Survival elements, Palworld mechanics, resource gathering, crafting, weapons, tools, hunger, thirst management. I got my little feed bag here, so it's automatically feeding myself, but you have to maintain your health. You don't really have to maintain your thirst. I don't know what they're talking about there, but I have to maintain your health by eating, and so do your pals. League Pokemon game mechanics, integrated survival crafting, forage for materials, build temporary camps, and use creatures for labor, mining, or farming. Oh, Do you mean like this? Where I'm using my pals to help maintain a farm, and I can set them to make... Look at all this cake I have. I can... Let me grab the cake. I can set... My inventory's full. I'm not doing good inventory management, but there you go. I can set them to like, oh, I want you to make some berries now. I'm hungry for berries. Yum, yum, berries. And Yormantide's going to come over here and make basically Fire Gyarados. I guess that's one that you can say is kind of close, but guess what? Gyarados is also based on a traditional yokai, so it's another thing and another concept that Pokemon and Nintendo did not create and Game Freak didn't create. Oh, look at that. He's crafting for me. Definitely not a thing that Nintendo came up with first. So is that what we're talking about? Another mechanic, multiplayer and cooperative gameplay, powered mechanics. Co-op raids, base sharing with friends. Like, yeah, you could go up in here, you can where is it? You can create a guild so you can be in a team with people and they can use your base and you can do base sharing. There's raids that you have to go on. Like if we go to one of these towers over here, not that, there you go. Like this tower that I haven't cleared yet, or this tower, I can do that with my friends. And then there's some world bosses that are hard to take down by yourself. Like up here, there's Paldimus and Necromus. They're very difficult to take down. So there's a co-op thing that's beyond what like the Pokemon co-op is, or the Pokemon multiplayer is, where at least back in my day, you had to plug in the Game Link cable and then you could battle other people. And I'm sure now with the modern ones, you could just kind of do that intrinsically through the use of the internet. But still uniquely different from the way that Pokemon has worked. Leaked Pokemon game mechanics, teased co-op modes for shared worlds, including PvP creature duels. Oh, you mean like this shared world I have right now, this server that I host for my buddies? This one right here, or any of the countless other public servers that you can get on, that idea? Yeah, that's totally unique to you, Nintendo. You definitely were the first ones to create a game with creature capture elements on a shared server that you could engage with PvP with other players. That wasn't Ark Survival Evolved at all, and probably honestly before Ark Survival Evolved. In fact, if you know of a version of a game like that had creature capture mechanics and PvP on a multiplayer server but came before Ark Survival Evolved, put it in the comments for me. I might use that for my database that I'm working on of prior art mechanics. Tone and progression, Palworld mechanics, edgy post-apocalyptic vibes with guns and ethical dilemmas. There are definitely ethical dilemmas because I can just kind of do this. So I have my butcher's cleaver. I don't. I could just kind of take this guy, say, you know what, you're not working hard enough, and cut him into pieces. And now I got meat and dragon stones. And if he's an alpha, I got the nice, ancient civilization parts. It's a great time. And it's very, very dark. And according to this leaked video footage, the new Pokemon League game also has a darker aesthetic than mainline Pokemon, with mature themes like resource scarcity and creature exploitation, echoing fans' demands unmet by Nintendo. So it seems like they might just be copying Palworld outright. It seems like they might be taking all these mechanics that people loved in Palworld and integrating them into their own unique game, and that is leading people to believe that maybe that is the source of this lawsuit. Maybe this lawsuit is twofold. One, a PR thing, a thing where they can get a lot more hype behind this situation so that when they release their game, it will have a lot of instant hype behind it. But I don't think that's something they need to do. I don't know how much I agree with that concept of them entering a lawsuit for hype, because maybe it's working for them in Japan. I don't know. If you're watching me right now and you're Japanese, my cat is screaming at my girlfriend for attention right now. If you're watching this right now and you're Japanese, maybe it is gaining them a lot of good publicity in Japan. Please let me know. Who knows? That would be wild to me, but I don't know that culture. But it's definitely not gaining them good publicity in the United States. It is definitely not gaining them good publicity in at least like the EU, as far as I know from the people I've spoken to that are European citizens. So I doubt that this is a PR move necessarily. And if it is a PR move, it's a very, very bad PR move, because the only people, at least in the United States, that are going to defend them after this, if they release a Palworld clone, and I will gladly call it a Palworld clone, the only people that are going to defend them if they release a Palworld clone are the Nintendo stands that are already defending them and that refuse to admit that they are doing anything wrong. The people that aren't those Nintendo stands are not going to be defending them and are probably going to be condemning them even more, because now it's just like you're complaining about Pocket Pair copying you. You had the audacity to file a a lawsuit against them. You file these allegedly fraudulent patents to go after them, and now you're just creating the same thing. That's pathetic. That is pathetic. That should be illegal. It's insane. So they're not going to get any backing there. So the other thing might just be that they're hoping that, hey, we have these patents now, we can take our competition out of the game. Either whether they were working on this beforehand or not. Maybe they were working on this at the same time that Pocket Pair was working on Palworld. Who knows? I can't speak to that. Maybe some of these documents that were leaked will show when they started working on it. I don't know. I'm going to actually try to find a little bit more of them too, so I can look at them a bit more myself. But maybe it'll show that they were working on this before Palworld was being worked on. Or maybe it will show that they didn't start working on it until after Palworld was announced or after Palworld was released. The other theory is that they got these patents so they can take out their main competition. Palworld right now they're already trying to claim that they're competition. They're already trying to claim that they're competing with them unfairly and blah, blah, blah. That's part of the lawsuit. Or at the very least that they're infringing upon the patents. And Palworld is kind of, some people are saying it's competition to Pokemon. I don't think it is. I don't think Palworld is competition to Pokemon at all, at least Pokemon as we know it. Because Palworld is a different genre of game. Palworld is a survival crafting game. Palworld does not use turn-based combat. Palworld does not have any of the same gameplay loop that Pokemon has. So people go to Palworld for a different gaming experience than Pokemon. And if Nintendo never went after Palworld, never went after Pocket Pair, they would not have lost any audience. They would not have lost any consumers. They would not have lost any players, any customers because of Palworld. Because what you were getting out of Palworld is not what you're getting out of Pokemon. But they're definitely losing customers because of the lawsuit. They are definitely losing customers because they are suing Palworld, because there's a lot of people that will, one, me, and then two, a lot of people, you can get in my comments and you can see all the people that are saying, I'm not going to buy Nintendo stuff because, now how many of them are actually holding to it? I don't know. But there are at least some people that are not buying Nintendo stuff and not buying the new Pokemon games because they are suing Pocket Pair. It was never competing with them, and this lawsuit has done more to hurt them than anything. So perhaps it is just a matter of they're trying to take out the competition because now they realize, hey, this is what the players want. This is what people want. We should have done this whole time. We didn't. And the only way we're going to get our foot in the door with this really is by making sure there's no other competition on the market. But even then they didn't need to do that, because if Nintendo just came out and said, wow, that's a great idea, we're going to make the same game but Pokemon, it probably would be fine. I doubt Pocket Pair would have sued them. Pocket Pair's an indie studio. It wouldn't have gone where Pocket Pair didn't have patents for those mechanics. So they could have just quickly cobbled together enough of the game to release a gameplay trailer so that Pocket Pair couldn't, after the fact, patent those mechanics the same way that Nintendo did, and then been fine. Note that it wouldn't have been patentable anymore. There's prior art before the patents were filed, and then competed with them, and then used the fact that they are Nintendo to publicize the game, to get the fan base behind the game, the Nintendo fanboys behind the game, the people like me that aren't Nintendo fanboys but grew up with Pokemon that would probably want to play it, and the fact that there'd be a lot of hype inherent to it because Pokemon just released or Nintendo just released a Palworld clone, and people love it and whatever. So I think that's whatever they're doing, they're wrong. That's what I'm going to say. Whatever they're doing, they're not doing it intelligently. They're not doing it smartly. It's not helping their PR. It's not helping their image. People fucking hate them for this. And I think it's a bad idea, but it does appear there's, at least as of right now, it seems like there is evidence that they are creating a Palworld clone. And I think that is insane. I think that's crazy. I think it's such a wild thing to do while in the midst of a lawsuit over patent infringement over video game mechanics. And patent infringement over video game mechanics that they never should have gotten to begin with. Things that they never should have had access to begin with to release a game. It was the worst, to my mind, it was the worst possible move they could have made in this situation. If they had always planned this game to enter a lawsuit over it before it was ever even announced that the game existed, that's just bad PR. That's going to hurt them more. And if they're like, this thing Palworld exists, let's make a copy of it, but while we're working on our own copy of it, we're going to sue them for copying us. I don't know who's in charge of these decisions specifically, but whoever it is needs to be fired. The entire board needs to be fired. They need to honestly at some point face criminal charges, because I don't know the law well enough to understand if it's something that would be considered criminal, but I feel like it should be. I think anti-monopoly laws need to be brought in. I think they need to be punished for this behavior. They need to be punished significantly for this behavior so they don't continue to do it. And if it is just a case of lawfare, if it is just a case of them engaging in lawfare to try to either boost their statistics or boost their PR, I don't think it's working the way they thought it was going to, or just get more eyes behind this so that when they release their game, I think one, if it is found that that's what they're doing, if there are some documents that show that is what they're doing, like something that a memo somewhere or an email where someone said, hey, let's sue Pocket Pair so that we can get PR behind this, or let's sue Pocket Pair so that we'll be the only ones on the market when we release this thing, or whatever it is, there needs to be legal consequences and they need to be significant. But with that, I'm going to leave this here. If you would like to join my fight against Nintendo, I am currently working on building a database of prior art that would be usable by game developers, indie studios, law studios to show the prior art that has existed for individual game mechanics and individual game components throughout history, and the different ways in which it was implemented in different games to help fight against patent trolling, so that when there's a case of patent trolling, either a fraudulent patent gets filed or a lawsuit happens over a game mechanic patent that is something that has already existed, it'll be that much easier for the indie studios to fight back, that much easier for the lawyers and the law firms to get a hold of the prior art, and hopefully will be able to be used to prevent these fraudulent patents from being filed to begin with, because there will be an easy repository of all the prior art for all these game mechanics that can be searched by the patent examiner and used to deny the patents for something that has already existed. If you're interested in helping out, the GoFundMe details, it's going to be a time-intensive process, it's going to be a manpower-intensive process, and I'm going to need to pay to host the databases and help me design the website. So I have a GoFundMe started that will help me host the databases, help me build the website, and help me hire a team around me to get this process started. The link for that is going to be in the description as well as in the pinned post. If you've gotten this far, please hype the video, subscribe, comment, share, like. Every bit of engagement helps the video do much better, helps get more eyes on this. And if you want to help me in a more personal way, or if you want to help the channel in a more personal way, sign up for memberships down below. Every dollar from the memberships goes straight to my editor until it reaches the point that I can afford to hire him on full-time. And if you want to help me out in a more personal way, click on the playlist over there if you want to see the story about the time I got pepper sprayed. It's my storytelling channel. I'm trying to get that to take off a little bit more because I really like doing that. I really like the storytelling. It's really cathartic for me. It's a fun experience for me. So please sign up over there. But with that, fuck Nintendo.